Hello, space pilot Mr. Cool Guy here, and I'm still going through a large pile of keycards. I don't know what they're for, all these keycards, other than the fact that one has to unlock this locked door. Right, none of the other doors are locked. Just this one. Oddly strange. Or maybe all these other key cards are part of the shipment? The delivery? I don't know. But I will find the key card that unlocks the locked door that I'm pretty sure Velcor is on the other side of. Because it's the only door that is locked. Granted, I might not have explored every corridor. It's kind of hard to remember with the many corridors and rooms inside the ship. There's a lot. It's a lot to remember. But anyways, time for 10 more random facts you may or may not know. And it seems that for these first two facts, we're going to be looking at some peculiar items up close. And now for peculiar item and fact number 1. Purple raincoat. Prince wore this purple satin coat during his stage performances of Purple Rain. The coat has a high collar, padded shoulders, and silver studs. Wow, that's an old outfit. That's a real throwback. That's a... Man, it's a certainly interesting choice. I mean, I would not recommend it for space travel, because you gotta wear a special sort of space suit. Right? Space travel suit. For like when you go in those gates at the speed you go, the kind of suit they have us wear protects our bodies from the G-forces and speed that we end up going. So that way, you don't splatter into a tiny million pieces, or any other gruesome thing that could happen. Safety. But now, let's go ahead and take a look at peculiar item number 2 for fact. Number 2. Stop motion tree. This Christmas tree is a screen use prop from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Because it is a stop motion animated film, each frame is actually a photo of a real set. Over 100,000 photos make up the movie, and more than 100 artists worked over 3 years to make almost everything you see on screen. That is... wow, that's a lot of photos. Yes, stop motion is not a simple process. No, it takes patience. Because, you gotta just slightly, and I mean slightly, move your stop motion pieces you created and take a photo, slightly move it, take another photo. You gotta make it look seamless. So when it's finished, it's like a seamlessly made film or short. But yeah, like the longer your film or whatever your stop motion film is gonna be, the longer it'll take to make. Right? Because it requires a lot of work. You know, a lot of work and patience. It is not easy making movies. Right? No siree. The human element that goes into making this just is not easy. You can have experience, you can have the knowledge to do it, but that don't mean you're gonna get it done in like a week or a month. Right? It's not a fast, simple process. Yeah. Dang. All the little details on the tree. That. Yeah. Wow. Alright. Well, those were two peculiar items that we took an up close look at. Now it's time to move on to fact number 3. Alright, fact number 3. Day of the Dogs. The Kukratahar festival takes the phrase "every dog has its day" to the next level. Known as the Day of the Dogs, Kukratahar honors the special bond between dogs and humans. It is celebrated on day 2 of the 5-day Hindu festival called Tihar. In Hinduism, it is believed dogs are messengers of the god of death. To stay on the god's good side, people spend the day worshipping dogs. The furry friends are blessed with red marks called tikas, dressed in flowers, and of course, given lots of tasty treats. I mean, wow. I mean, a festival for the dogs, where they're just giving extra attention, like, oh, I'm fine. Right, I have no qualms with a festival for dogs, like, you're celebrating dogs, it's a national, or like a National Dog Day, right? So essentially, where you celebrate dogs, the joy of having dogs, you know, like the dogs that served in the military, or the dogs, you know, that serve in the police force, or like the rescue dogs, or, you know, the service dogs for like people with disabilities, like blind people, or, you know, the dogs who are trained to detect certain things, like when the person is about to have a seizure, or if they have cancer, right? But a festival for worshipping them. I mean, personally, there are many beliefs out there, and I mean, dogs being a messenger of, for some that's supposed to represent death, and of course, like, why dogs? Like, what did dogs ever do to you that you believe that they're the messenger of something that's supposed to represent death in your culture? Like, why dogs? You could have chose anything and you chose dogs? Okay. Well, let's move on to fact number 4. Echidna unot. Compared to most mammals, the echidna seems like an alien species. Its body is covered in sharp protective spines. It has a beak-like nose that can sense electricity. It has no teeth and slurps up insects with a 6-inch long, 15.2 centimeter tongue. Instead of giving birth to live young, a mother echidna will lay an egg and keep it in a pouch on her belly until it hatches. On top of all that, it is one of Earth's oldest surviving species of mammal. That is interesting. Also, although it is a slow walker, the echidna is great at digging, swimming, and climbing. Dang. That's an incredible creature. It can dig, swim, and climb. Yeah. Now I wonder, can it also glide? Probably not. That's probably just a thing that, that's only possible in the Sonic world. The world of Sonic the Hedgehog. With Knuckles the Echidna. But, dang. That is... Dang. Echidnas lay eggs. Wow, that's, quite unique. I mean, they're a monotreme, and monotremes don't usually lay eggs. So, that's, hey, they probably lay eggs that are tiny enough to make it hard to be spotted by predators. Potentially. But now, let's move on to fact number 5. Long life lizard. According to legend, a Texas horned lizard was sealed alive without food, air, or water in the courthouse of Eastland, Texas for 31 years. The lizard was placed there in 1897 as part of a time capsule, and when the courthouse was prepared for demolition in 1928, it was found alive. Old Rip the Lizard became so famous that before his death 11 months later, he went on a national tour, during which he was presented to President Calvin Coolidge. Dang. That is a durable lizard. 31 years without food, water, or air. That is incredible. Man. That lizard has nerves of steel. If you had to, go without food, water, or air for a long time, you got trapped like that, it would be hard for you to stay calm, right? Eventually, you'd be really struggling not to panic, right? Because you have no air. You're trying to conserve any air you have inside you, and you're trying not to start panicking and, quicken your loss of air inside you, and you have no food and water, so you're going to become dehydrated and starve until you are rescued. But, unlike the lizard, you can take the necessary measures to hopefully not get trapped. And if you do, you should have the necessary equipment to keep yourself alive. And if you don't, then, pray for your rescue. Pray that you survive. Alright? Well, let's move on to fact number 6. Color change. The shell of the pink fairy armadillo from Argentina changes color according to the temperature of its body. The tiny armadillo, which is only 4 inches or 10 centimeters long, depends on a network of blood vessels to regulate its body heat. When it loses heat, its shell turns bright pink. When it drains blood from the shell to keep heat in, the shell becomes paler. So, if you see this tiny armadillo and it looks pale, don't worry. It's not sick. It's just keeping warm. Most likely. Dang, that's incredible. I mean, it's probably going to be hard to blend in with its surroundings with a bright pink shell, but if it becomes paler, it'd probably be a little bit easier to blend in with certain surroundings. So, pretty cool. But now, it's time for fact number 7. Woodpecker Pantry. A determined pair of woodpeckers filled the walls of a house in Santa Rosa, California, with more than 700 pounds, or 318 kilograms of acorns. Dozens of holes had been pecked in the walls and stuffed with enough acorns to fill 8 garbage bags. That is a lot of acorns. And from woodpeckers, no less. So, yeah, they would have been pecking at your house, doing some damage to it. But, the people had to have not been at their home for them to have had time to fill the walls of a house with 700 pounds of acorns. Because there's no way that the people wouldn't have heard the woodpeckers pecking at their house and doing damage. They would have had to have gone outside in some way and, seen the woodpeckers causing damage to their house. Unless the house wasn't being lived in, then okay, that makes sense. And if it was, then the people would have had to have been on vacation or something. But man, couldn't imagine coming back home and finding that your house, the walls of your house, are filled with 700 pounds of acorns. Right, and you have to spend what could be a few hours filling up 8 trash bags full of acorns. That's just... But now, let's move on to fact number 8. Monkey business. A Capuchin monkey named Root called 911 from a zoo near Paso Robles, California. Deputies from the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office went to investigate and found that although the call had come from the zoo's offices, no human there had made it, so they concluded that the emergency call was made by the monkey, who had picked up the zoo's cell phone and pushed the buttons. Dang. Like, wow. I mean, the fact that the monkey was able to get out of its enclosure and get to the phone? Dang, that's a smart monkey. The fact that it knew to know how to dial the police. Right. I mean, obviously it didn't hold up the phone close by and start, making monkey noises into it. But like, I can't imagine, like, you're at the police station, right? And you receive a call, right? And you pick it up, and like, you think there's an emergency, and on the other side, you just hear, right? You just hear what sounds like a monkey. You're gonna think it's a prank call, right? Because what kind of person would be speaking like a monkey and be in an emergency? Right? Yeah. Don't go prank calling the police. That's how you get arrested. And yes, that is illegal because you are taking up their time. Right? Because if you are prank calling them, that means there's a chance someone who's in a real emergency can't reach them and something bad could happen to them. So yeah. Yeah, don't get into any monkey business like the monkeys. But now, it's time for fact number 9. Globetrotter gecko. A pack of strawberries purchased in a supermarket in Manchester, England, contained a baby gecko that had traveled with the fruit 2,500 miles, or 4,000 kilometers, from Egypt. After buying the strawberries, Nakata Moran put them in her fridge for 2 hours before she spotted the 1-inch long, or 2.5 centimeter stowaway. None the worse for its ordeal, the gecko was taken to a nearby reptile rescue center. Dang. Like, man. That gecko is quite sneaky. The fact that it was able to get into the strawberries, and it, took a ride. It flew 2,500 miles all the way from Egypt. And then it survived 2 hours in the fridge by being in the container of strawberries. Man, it must have been eating good, right? Just sitting in there like, oh yeah, this is the good life, man. Look at Look at me, living a peaceful life. I got strawberries for days. Yeah. But now, it's time for fact number 10. Not exactly. Fish eggs or roe are a common sight in sushi restaurants, Most people don't think twice about eating the tiny orange orbs on top their favorite rolls. But did you know that the reproductive cells of male fish can also be eaten? That's right. Fried, steamed, or even raw. The fish sperm sacs are considered a delicacy in Japan, known as shirako or milt. It is said to taste rich like butter and a little bit sweet. When in season, the dish can be very expensive. Would you try this unique food? That's one way to put it. Certainly unique. Okay. No. I don't think I'm gonna try this food. Right. Like, try it. You might like it. That'll sense of bruh. Yeah. I don't think that should apply to, the fish sperm sacs. Why? Why would you do that? There are times where humans do things, and you just gotta ask them, why? What brought you to do that? What brought you to think, I think I might try this. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it. There was 10 random facts that you may or may not have known. Was there any you knew? If so, let me know down below. If you have any additional information about them, feel free to share it. You might surprise the old space pilot, Mr. Cool Guy. If you enjoy, make sure to give a like. And if you're not subscribed and you keep coming back for more, or you want to see more, then, subscribe. So that way you can know as soon as a new one is posted. And, share this with others. They also can come and join in on hearing these weird, wild, and crazy facts. And the facts that just make you go, why? Just why? Anyways, I'm Space Pilot Mr. Cool Guy, and as I always say, to infinity and more facts.